Warframe Veteran Plays Episode 11. Um, yeah, we're doing another episode of this.
Please select destination.
I haven't even walked on him. Yeah, I don't really think I should do him. Have I, like, done anything with Excalibur? What the heck is this? Like, did I even mod him at all? Like, just like 4 mods. 4 mods. I'm gonna look up Excalibur on the build real quick.
Excalibur was the first Warframe many of us played after starting our journey. However, he's not necessarily known to be a viable steel path choice. So, let's change that. In fact, in today's guide, I'm going to show you how you can turn your Excalibur into an absolute steel path beast, dealing millions of damage, and also being able to even survive deep Archimedia missions. And after a big shout out to all my generous channel members to help me keep the lights on, let's jump right into it. Alright, you know the drill. When it's Warframe build time, the first thing we always look at are the skills, starting out with the passive, and in case of Excalibur, this one is actually pretty simple. You get a 10% attack speed bonus plus a 10% damage bonus when you get switched off the moment you transfer out of him into your operator form. That is a definite no-no, which is also why in the last update we got the augment mod Warrior's Rest, which is an augment for his passive and goes into his Excellus mod slot, and what it does is basically it turns off this entire independence thing and you get 15% more ability strength. If you want to play Excalibur Umbra and you want to play him to his maximum potential, then this augment mod is an absolute must. But now let's look at his actuals. Any other elements interfering with the actual one that you want to go for here. This right here would be my Kuvernukur build, pretty standard stuff, you know, fire rate, multi-shot, a lot of state, for a period of time. This one is extremely powerful as a damage buff. And, of course, the big skill for which we want to have all this viral damage. Now, as probably all of us know, we're going to focus today's build on. Now, one thing to note about Exalted Blade, and I'm sure most of you know it already, but I'm going to say it anyway, there is an augment called Chromatic Blade, which turns the IPS damage that the blade usually does into pure elemental damage of right into it. Alright, you know the drill. When it's Warframe build time, the first thing we always look at are the skills, starting out with the passive, and in case of Excalibur, this one is actually pretty simple. You get a 10% attack speed bonus plus a 10% damage bonus when using swords, and of course this also counts for his Exalted Blade because that is counted as a sword as well. So much for the normal Excalibur, and of course the Excalibur Prime if you're lucky enough to have him. However, there is also the way more stylish Excalibur Umbra, who has another additional little passive, and that is whenever you transfer in your operator or drifter form, Excalibur Umbra is the only Warframe in the entire game who not just stands there and waits as if somebody turned off the power switch. No, Excalibur Umbra actually has sentience and therefore fights alongside you on the battlefield independently of you. At first, of course, this sounds pretty awesome, right? Your Warframe fights for you while you're not even in the Warframe form, but this also brings one big problem with it, and that is Excalibur Umbra can actively die while you're in your operator form, and that is something you definitely don't want. And as if that's not bad enough, also, any buffs and effects that are on Excalibur Umbra get switched off the moment you transfer out of him into your operator form. That is a definite no-no, which is also why in the last update we got the augment mod Warrior's Rest, which is an augment for his passive and goes into his Excellus mod slot, and what it does is basically
Alright, what can we help you with?
Have it?
These will feed the fire. Very well.
Basically, it turns off this entire independence thing and you get 15% more ability strength. If you want to play Excalibur Umbra and you want to play him to his maximum potential, then this augment mod is an absolute must. But now, let's look at his actual skills. First off, we have Slash Dash. This one is pretty simple. You press a button and then your Excalibur Umbra dashes forward, hitting enemies in its path. This attack not only deals damage with a guaranteed slash proc, which is nice, but it also chains between nearby enemies until there are either no enemies left over or the remaining enemies are so far away that it cannot reach them anymore. Also, while you're performing the slash dash, your health is completely invulnerable. Your shield can still take damage, but your health is untouchable, aka you cannot die within this. Now, about slash dash, there is a little bit to unpack here. See, Slash Dash is one of the abilities in the game that counts as a sort of pseudo-exalted, meaning that it kind of works like an exalted weapon even though it isn't, and that means you can use a stat stick to massively boost the performance of the damage that Slash Dash delivers per hit. Now, about this whole stat stick thing and building Excalibur for Slash Dash specifically, I don't want to talk about in this video because of two reasons. A, Nightmare Frame has already made a full build on this whole thing, so if you like, you can go over to his channel and check it out. But more importantly, the devs have repeatedly stated that they really do not like the mechanic of pseudo-exalteds and stat sticks, and that they are actively looking into getting rid of that in some form. And I don't really want to make a video on a mechanic that might or might not be in the game in the future anymore, just wanted to mention what's possible here for the sake of completion. Skill number 2, Radial Blind, or in the case of Excalibur Umbra, Radial Howl. Two different names, but exactly the same skill. This one is a 360-degree AoE blind for every enemy that is in range and also looking into your direction. And that's already pretty much all there is to say. Great crowd control, it opens enemies up for finishers, and also it's great from a defensive point of view because every enemy that is blinded, of course, cannot attack you. Radial Blind also has an augment that increases damage from finishers, so if you want to go for that, that might...
Here's what we can do for you. I hope you put it to good use.
Oh, I will.
Might be nice, but today we are not going to, so this one is off the table. Unlike, however, his third ability, Radial Javelin. This one is also pretty easy to explain. Excalibur stomps his sword into the ground and shoots out powerful javelins to all enemies in range. Now, on a lower level, this one can really clear an entire room because it deals quite the nice damage. However, when we're looking at Steel Path, the damage falls off pretty steeply, and what we're actually using this one for is the augment Furious Javelin, because what that does is
Anything you need, Tenno. All right, but you owe us.
Yeah, I know.
it massively increases your damage for every enemy that you hit with those javelin that you're shooting out when performing the skill. You can easily get a 1000 or even more % damage boost for a period of time. This one is extremely powerful as a damage buff. And, of course, the big skill for which we want to have all this damage buffing potential is Excalibur's signature ability, Exalted Blade. I mean, I don't think I need to say much about it, right? He pulls out this energy blade and hacks away at everything and everything dies. This is what we want to focus today's build on. Now, one thing to note about Exalted Blade, and I'm sure most of you know it already, but I'm going to say it anyway, there is an augment called Chromatic Blade, which turns
Anything you need, Tenno. Hope it helps.
Dreams. It's on these long and quiet nights I ask.
I don't think I like that being though.
the IPS damage that the blade usually does into pure elemental damage of any type of your choosing, while also massively boosting your status chance with it. The damage type that it does depends on your Excalibur's energy color. For example, if you have a bright or bluish color, you can deal cold damage. If you have a green color, you're going to deal toxin damage. Warm colors will turn into heat, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, Chromatic Blade is a super duper strong augment mod, not just because of the elemental damage, but also because of the massive increase in status chance. You're gonna see what I mean in a couple minutes here. First though, there's one thing that I need to make very clear here because it's essential for today's build, and that is talking a little bit about viral damage. Now, as probably all of us know, viral is pretty much the best element in the entire game simply because of this enormously great status effect of making enemies more susceptible to damage. However, there is a difference between viral the status effect and viral the damage itself. See, as we all know, all damage types in the game have certain bonuses and malices towards certain types of enemy health. For example, Corrosion gets a massive 75% bonus against ferrite armor. And, just like all the other elements in the game, also Viral has this, getting a massive 75% bonus against Cloned Flesh, aka against Grineer, if they're not wearing any armor. And this is exactly the catch of today's video, because if we were able to get rid of all the Grineer armor, then the only thing remaining would be their red health bar, aka the Cloned Flesh, and at that point, Viral then starts to get 75% extra damage against that now exposed Cloned Flesh. In other words, and to make that very clear, when we're playing Excalibur, we're having an Exalted Blade that does pure elemental damage with very high status chance, and we can make it that this damage is pure viral, and if we then also manage to armor strip our enemies, then literally every Grineer out there is gonna disintegrate like paper mache in front of us. So the point in question would be, how do we armor strip here? And that is actually pretty simple. What we do is, we equip our Excalibur with 2 green Archon shards. This allows us to increase the cap of corrosive status effects that we can set on any given enemy from 10 up to 14. And what that means is that just on corrosive status effects alone, we will be able to fully armor strip any enemy out there. So let's take a look at that. Well, I wish I had a super duper clever idea on how we could do the armor strip, but the kind of disappointing answer is we're just gonna go for weapons here. In fact, as long as you have a weapon that has a lot of status chance and fire rate and therefore can deal a lot of status effects very quickly, you can basically use whatever you want here. I personally went for the Kuvanukor because, as we all know, this one is pretty much the best primer in the game and it has a lot of fire rate, status chance, anything we need, also being able to hit multiple enemies at once. So the Kuvanukor is gonna be our weapon of choice here. In case you want to recreate this build, I personally would recommend to get a Kuva nuclear with either a toxin or electricity progenitor, because in this case it's even easier to get it towards corrosive and you don't have any other elements interfering with the actual one that you want to go for here. This right here would be my Kuva nuclear build, pretty standard stuff. Fire rate, multi-shot, a lot of status chance, secondary encumber as an arcane, making it so that we deal even more. More different status effects on the side, and in the Excellence slot, very important, Ruinous Extension, which further extends the length of our beams, making it even easier to hit all those enemies. And just by the way, I would be super duper happy if you could maybe spare a like, because it helps the video out big time with the YouTube algorithm, so cheers so much for your support. But now, let's actually look at our Excalibur's build. First off, this is the build for his Exalted Blade. Since it cannot be equipped with combo stacking mods like Weeping Wounds or Blood Rush, what we're gonna do for the crit is Sacrificial Steel. And in order to make that even more potent, we go for Sacrificial Pressure to give us damage. Organ Shatter and Gladiator Might for the crit damage. Berserker Fury for the attack speed, and then Northwind to get our viral. damage, because remember, we can turn the base damage of the Exalted Blade into any element we want just by changing Excalibur's energy color. We'd use green here giving us toxin damage, so we only need to add North Wind to get viral. And finally, Condition Overload giving us a
It's that time. Ta-ta, lovelies. Do you feel the next world press close on these late night streams? Nora does. She feels the presence of those she lost, the great and the good, gods and ghosts. We are watched, bet on, by those who dwell in the direction we cannot point.
You are here on a capture mission. You must find, capture, and extract our target. Target located. Bring them in. The capture target has vital information that we will need to extract. We need our subject brought back alive. Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back at base. Your part is done here, Tenno. Tenno, get ready. A prosecutor is approaching. Good work. You have proven the prosecutors are not invincible. Marines inbound.
Warframe spotted!
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Operator, incoming transmission. It's from Fortuna.
Alad V's selling the latest in asset security. Conduits. Put the key in and you can pull the shinies out. Trick is, you gotta wait to open. Something happens to the conduit before you can pull the goods. You don't get the goods. Ever. Also, the bleeders Alad sold the tech to will try to kill ya. Give that console the old bypass so we can get this thing started. This isn't your regular bolt job. Alad V sold the conduits with interference routines specifically designed for the Tenno. Things might get a little weird. Conduit keys are carried by high-ranking muckety-mucks. Knock them down. See what they've got. Third key. Right. Find a matching conduit. Hear that beeping? Demo unit's on its way. Demo unit coming in fast. That thing blows and you can kiss the conduit goodbye. had to pay Maru a small fortune in rations for this tip. Eyes open, sunshine. Here we go. Right, they're having a go. Keep the demos away from that conduit. Demo units looking to depart this mortal coil and take you with it. Keep it clear of that conduit. Routine subverted and you're juiced. Nice. Should have been a boffin. Missed me calling. Why does old Alad call you lot betrayers anyway? Oh, no matter. Care for another kick at a conduit? Way ahead of you. Time to hit the pub.
Eliminate all Corpus threats. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. broken. Well done. Now get to extraction. Another job well executed. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Terminal hacked. Keep moving. We have got to find a terminal. Proceed and prepare. Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. We are finished here. Move on. Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment. Still working on it. Continue to defend. The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Nora tries dreams. You know she does. But I swear, sometimes you be standing there, soaked to the skin, and some idiot wants to talk about the weather.
When in Cetus, do not drink the kombucha. You are incapable of producing the hydraulic effort required to unstick your tongue from the roof of your mouth the following morning.
select destination. Please select destination.
These are worthy foes. Underestimate them at your peril.
There are void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a relic. You found the fissure. Look out for reactant. They're dropping reactant. Use it to crack open a relic. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant. The Orican Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
Hunt is on, Tenno. The synthesis scanner is detecting a potential target. Use it. Search for traces of the target.
Tenno, if you have a necromech, this would be an excellent place to deploy it. That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside. Oculists are scanning for targets. They know you're here. Prepare for sentient fighters. The longer you hold out, the deeper I can search. But if you need to leave, extraction is ready. Void signatures, but outside the corrupted. They are draining your life support, and fast. Eliminate them quickly. Collected enough reactant to open your relic. You're near a fissure. Those oculists are scanning for targets. The sentient is onto you. Look out for troopers.
Don't worry. I'll take very good care of Varuna. I have just the spot in the kennel for her.
The queens have sought out Warframes before. Vor sought to present them with yours. We cannot let the worm have Varuna. Hiding Lua in the void risked the unfathomable. I fear we are seeing the consequences of that risk now. Destroy these void-stained enemies. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant. Relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. of Orican technology may work here due to the Circulus's proximity. If you have a necromech, you may use it. Sentient scouts. If they detect you, fighters will soon attack. The sentient has detected you. Fighters incoming. Long ago, one of your kind put an end to that final desperate continuity ceremony. Her essence may still be here. Void signatures, but outside the corrupted. They are draining your life support, and fast. Eliminate them quickly. Well done, Tenno. Your relic is open. This is yours by right. These manifestations, they aren't from the neural century. Destroy them. They are drawing from your life support. Oculists, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind. That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside. These manifestations must not be allowed a foothold on Lua. Life support is at risk. Destroy them.
Was greater. This is good.
Lost it.
Nora sleeps better knowing her dreamers are out there, working to lift us up.
We are literally on like 3, but this is like insane. Cause like, you know, it ends in 5 days and we're like already in like the freaking end game. Well, we hit Salty recently, so we basically have all of this. And then, oh my god, look how many blessings I have. We have like multiple blessings.
Later.
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Ordis seems to have misplaced those memories.
And also I have like every single thing unlocked. So yeah, we're actually there. Like we have every single and also my drift looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, this is the 1999 deal. I even got like a black belt. did a lot today, but I mean, I could say that we did a lot. Yeah. See you guys.